Okay. I want to thank the media for being here. I want to thank the city of Cincinnati. Adrien Broner versus Adrian Granados will be February 18th, right here at the Cintas Center, Cincinnati, Ohio. The fight is going to be on Showtime Championship Boxing. It's going to start at 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a great fight. Adrian just had a great fight against Iman. He actually stopped him. He's on a win streak, 5 straight wins. Adrian hasn't fought in about, a good amount of time. I know he's ready to get back in the ring, and it's going to be a great night of boxing. We have Mayweather Promotions here. We also have TGB Promotions here. Mayweather Promotions, along with us, we promoted Adrian's last fight in Washington, D.C. It was a great event. It was a great night. It was a sold-out fight. It was a pleasure working with Mayweather Promotions. They're a great company. At this point in time, I'm going to bring Leonard Ellerby up, and he's going to say some words.
Thank you, Ravon. This event is brought to you by About Billions Promotions and Mayweather Promotions in association with TGB Promotions. We're very excited to be here in this lovely city of Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a rich history of boxing tradition, a number of great champions from this area, along with a number of great amateur fighters who come out of this area. We'd like to thank everyone who came out today and who's going to support this event. This is going to be a great fight. You have a young fighter in Adrian Granados who never quits, who's always in great fights. In a couple of fights, he's come up short, but come February 18th, we know he's going to be bringing his best. And when it comes to Adrien Broner, he's one of the top stars in the sport. And we know Adrian can come and put on a great performance for his city. And it's going to be a great event, shown to us by none other than Showtime. So we're looking forward to working with our partner, About Billions. And like I said, we're expecting to sell out. Mayweather Promotions is also excited to be here for the first time here at the Cintas Center, which is a fabulous place. And again, it's really, really going to be a great event. And I'd like to bring up this time none other than the president of Mayweather Promotions, Floyd Mayweather.
We back, 2 young champions, 2 hungry lions. That's what it's all about. It's all about giving the people entertainment. Adrien Broner, very flashy, very flamboyant, very outspoken, still young, still has a lot to go out there and prove, to show the world he's not just one of the best, that he is the best in the sport. That's what it's about. Going out there day in and day out, proving that you're the best. But we have another champion right here that's hungry, that's also dedicated to the sport of boxing, that's always in the action-packed fight, always. A lot of times, you know, when you see certain matchups, you say, well, that's a mismatch. That's a mismatch. Well, February 18th, we can't say that about this fight. We can say it's a good matchup. Very good matchup. These guys boxed before in training camp. Very good work. Very, very good work. He's no pushover. Adrien Broner's no pushover. And that's what the people want to see. That's what boxing is all about. The best fighting the best. You can have a guy that's, they say, well, this guy's, he's 30-0. He hasn't fought anyone. He could be 30-0, but if he fought all bums, then he's the best bum. And we never look at it like that, but that's the truth. both fighters, great trainers. I mean, great trainers. You know, I'm not one of those guys that's been involved in the sport that paved the way for young fighters to open up the door for young fighters, then get up here and bash trainers. I'm not going to do that. You know, like there's so many great trainers out there, and the sport of boxing will continue to grow. I will continue to help the sport of boxing grow, and eventually, you know, like I said before, we always looking for the next pay-per-view star, and both of these guys had the potential to be pay-per-view stars. Cincinnati, not a good city, but a great city. The Midwest is where I come from. So I'm always going to say the Midwest is the best. You know, Alicia Zubakowski, I really want to thank her because, you know, I put 2 great real estate deals together in this great city. You know, I have a hotel now in Cincinnati. Hopefully, fight weekend is sold out. Adrian, get the people to stay there. But the sport of boxing is so interesting. You got so many great fights coming up, but this is a very, very important fight right here. Very important fight for the sport of boxing. I want everybody to tune in. Showtime is the A side, and Showtime will continue to stay the A side. As long as Showtime work with me and Mayweather Promotions, they will continue to be the A side. I want to thank, of course, About Billions Promotions, their team, their staff, and I just want to say I'm proud of Adrien Broner. Like I said before, it was just a minor setback for a major comeback, and he's coming back better than ever. But I don't want him to overlook him. You know, never take nothing for granted. Never overlook nobody, because you can look up and say, "Damn, I'm down 3 rounds." I've been in that situation before. But in championship boxing, it's always 12 rounds. And I want both competitors to go out there and not just give Cincinnati a great fight, but give the world a great fight. It's on a great network, Showtime. Y'all hungry, y'all young, y'all dedicated, and that's what it's about. I mean, you can have one camp saying one thing, another camp saying another thing, and a city behind one fighter, but when it's all said and done, the fighter have to get in there and fight. This is boxing. You know, you don't play boxing. I mean, you play football, you play basketball, but you don't play boxing. It's all about blood, sweat, and tears. And we're just happy to be here. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up, that came out. And tickets gonna go on sale when? Our tickets on sale now. So if I'm live on anybody's social media page, or I'm pretty sure I'm everywhere, put it out there, let the world know this is a fight they must see, and I want everybody that's in the city of Cincinnati, come support Adrien Broner, come support this event. It's gonna be a great night of boxing. Thank you for having me.
I want to thank Leonard, I want to thank Floyd for their remarks. Our main event, as I said before, would be Adrian Granados versus Adrien Broner. At this point in time, Adrien Granados has a record of 18-4 with 12 knockouts. He's from Chicago. He's coming, like I said before, he's coming in tonight off a 5-bout winning streak. He had a very impressive win, had a great 2015. And you know what some people may not know is, you know, we've had him in camp before, and, you know, so we're somewhat familiar with him, but we know, you know, what he brings. We know he's rugged. You know, we know he has a battery in his back, so he doesn't stop coming. So at this point in time, I'm going to bring up Adrian Granados.
Give him a shout out to Adrien Broner. We're doing his Snapchat live right now, but you know he's got a great following. Just want to say, everybody, thank you for having me. This is my second time in Cincinnati. Like they said last time, it was out here in 2013. I was getting ready for Marcos Maidana. Had a great camp. You know, yeah, definitely. It's a great honor to be here. You know, I've let Adrian know I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'd like to give thanks to Showtime, to my manager, Journeyman Management, and my new promoter, TGB Promotions. Yeah, you know, this is a great fight. It's a great fight in boxing. What I've loved from the feedback is like we've gotten actually the most buzz. You know, there's a lot of great big fights, but I know ours is the big unknown. You know, a lot of people don't really know who I am, but if you're really into boxing, you know I'm gonna come. You know, and I'm gonna come to win. You know, Adrien Broner is a great fighter, 4-division world champion. That's no fluke. You know, I've always told people he never fought any easy fight. He took a lot of tough fights. You know, like they brought him up right, but as soon as he got to the championship level, he was fighting everybody. And you know, the fight with Maidana, that was a tough fight. You know, that he didn't have to really take. The fight with Sean Porter, I felt like another fight he didn't have to take. And now with me, you know, he's giving me this opportunity, and you know, I've let it be known. May the best man win. You know, Adrien Broner's a stand-up guy. You know, outside of the ring, you know, everyone has their own ways of saying it. I've actually met him and spent time with him, and he's a real man. Good dude. Good fighter, and you know, a great fighter. So I mean, it's gonna be a great fight. I'm excited. I'm gonna be representing for Chicago, of course. You know, coming from Chicago, South Side. You know, training on the West Side, and you know, all the neighborhoods know where I'm at. You know where I'm from. But they know I'm coming to represent as well. You know, and it's gonna be a great barn burner fight. I'm hoping that Chicago comes out. I mean, Cincinnati's only a 4.5-hour drive. I actually drove out here when they invited me out here. It ain't too bad. So I'm hoping Chicago comes in full effect. And once again, it's going to be a great night of boxing, and may the best man win.
All right.
That was actually a pretty good speech. That was good. As you all know, Adrian's had the same trainer since he first came into the sport when he was 6 years old. Michael Stafford's been with him from the very beginning. They have a great relationship. Michael's a world-class trainer. At this time, I'd like to bring Michael Stafford up.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know we're supposed to start at 12, but we're here at 1, so so it's all out. But anyway, I'd like to thank the media that stick around. Cintas Center, we back again. R&R Promotions we did shows here in previous, and Adrian's fought here before. So I'd like to thank you guys for having us back. It's been a long time. I was wondering when you was going to have us back. So maybe it took Floyd to open up your eyes. But anyway, I'd like to thank Mayweather Promotions, for teaming up with About Billions, and actually Floyd too. He's done some mentoring over the past months, and I really appreciate you. And last but least, I'd like to thank Adrian and George. George is a real good friend of mine. We go way back. And I know he's feeling the same way I'm feeling. He wants to win, but after the fight, we're still gonna be friends. That's what it's all about. So Adrian has been training hard. He knows. Adrian's been in camp with us before, and I get a lot of questions. Why did he take the fight? Or they've been fighting before in training camp, but that's past tense. It's about winning. And these guys want to win, and it's a great undercard, and I'm pretty sure, like you said, tickets go on sale now. Tell everybody to come see the fight. It's a great venue, great promotion, and two great young lions, like Floyd said. So thanks for coming out. Thanks friends and families for coming out. You know, we really appreciate it. You know, sometimes it's hard to get to these press conferences early in the daytime. But, you know, I appreciate if you had to take off work and everything and whatever, but we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
At this time, I'd like to make an acknowledgement. As many may know, well, I think many people don't know, you know, in most of Adrian's fights, you know, over the years, you know, we got picked up by, you know, Golden Boy, and, you know, as time went on, Adrian started off here in Cincinnati, and he wasn't picked up, you know, Adrian didn't go to the Olympics, and, you know, he didn't get picked up by, you know, a big-time boxing promoter. When he turned pro, you know, he had to go a difficult route. And Andrew Williams saw what many other promoting companies didn't see in him. And at that time, this is back in '08, I actually worked for Andrew Williams, and you know, I saw the struggle he went through in helping Adrian get to where he is. You know, there are hundreds of thousands of dollars spent paying for fights, paying for opponents, paying for training camps that, you know, he was paying out of his own pocket. You know, there was no budget from a major promoting company, and, you know, he and Adrian were in it together. You know, they were pretty much partners. You know, Adrian had obligations to him to keep winning, and as long as he kept winning, you know, Drew kept helping him, you know, succeed. And, you know, when he finally got, you know, to where, you know, HBO picked him up and his career started to take off, you know, many times Andrew was no longer acknowledged, and, you know, the major companies, you know, they came in and they made it look like, or they made it seem as if they were responsible for that, but many people didn't see, you know, the beginning and what it really took. And I was there when people told him to stop wasting money in this boxing thing. You know, Adrian gets in trouble a lot. You know, he's hard to deal with, all these things, but he really kept believing, and he really believed in Adrian. And, you know, it's really, it's surreal to see where it actually went to. I remember the first time I saw Adrian fight on HBO, I couldn't believe it. You know, I mean, you know, Andrew was saying it all the time, I'm going to get him there, I want to get him there. And, you know, you say, you know, you're just doing fights around the city. A lot of people say, you know, it's not going to happen. He's from here, it's not going to happen. And, you know, when he fought Ponce de Leon and it was on HBO, you know, it was mind-blowing. So I definitely acknowledge Andrew. He's up here on the panel. You know, acknowledge him. Now to our main event. Adrien Broner, we're back at home. We haven't fought at home since 2015. So we always enjoy fighting at home. Adrien always has great performances at home. I think he deserves to fight at home. The last fight in DC was great. It's been a while. He's anxious to get back in the ring. We have a great opponent for him. You know, as stated before, Granados is no pushover, and he's coming to fight. And it's one big night of boxing. You know, furthermore, it's a great opportunity for us. You know, being a little bit over a year old, I've been able to switch from US Bank to Cintas. I want to thank the people at Cintas. This is a great venue. You guys have been very accommodating over the last few weeks, and we look forward to selling this thing out. So at this point in time, I'd like to bring four-time world champion Adrien Broner.
Man, it's been a long journey. First of all, I gotta thank God for sure, because I've been in some crazy situations, and I still wake up today and I'm still here. So you know, I gotta give a good thanks to God for sure. You know, I want to thank all my support. My support system is crazy. Coach Mike, my parents, my About Billions team. Like he said, Andrew Williams, of course. My mentor, Floyd Mayweather, and all his team, P-Rilla, you know, everybody that talked to me behind the scenes. And, you know, if you didn't know, or if you didn't notice, you know, it's come a time, you know, where it's time to grow up. And, you know, I think I reached that mark. And, you know, I look back at some of the wild things I used to do when I was younger, and I'd be amazed, like, wow, I really did that. you know. So everybody always asks, like, do you got any regrets? I look back and I say, I wish I could have did that a different way. But everybody got regrets. But now it's about worrying about the future, worrying about my kids, my team, my family, and putting on great performances as a boxer. I'm always be entertaining because I'm always be me. So that's what I'm more focused on, especially 2017 and further on. Like I said, I've been on the downside and the upside of boxing. And at the end of the day, my name is still one of the biggest names in boxing. So, right now it's just time to stop taking my talent for granted, stop taking the chances I got in life for granted, and change for the better. I know everybody like, I wonder if he gonna get up here and throw Mexican slurs at Adrian Granados. I'm like, nah, I got him, but nah, man. The new Adrien Broner. I want to thank everybody who acknowledged me as AB. That's cool. About me, that's cool. But I want people to acknowledge me as Adrien Broner, Adrian the Problem Broner, the boxer. And from here on out, there's gonna be less talking, more fighting, and more smiling. And February 18th, man, I'm gonna put on a hell of a show. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and if y'all can, come watch me train today. It's open to the public at Don High School.
Before we close, I want to announce Robert Easter Jr. and Rashid Warren will be fighting February 10th in Toledo, Ohio on Bounce TV. Please make sure you check that out. Definitely about to his card. I was just going to say that. But they're part of our stable, and it's Robert Easter's first main event fight. So definitely make sure you.
Rashid Warren is also defending his world title as well.
Rashid defending his world title as well. They're both world champions. It'll be a great fight. And with that being said, Adrian will be free to answer questions if any of you may have, any you may want to ask him. And once again, thank you all very much.